is the most shameless Alien ripoff we have ever seen.
As you may know, the Alien franchise is extremely popular, but due to its popularity, it has gotten ripped off multiple times.
And one of the most shameless ripoffs is Terminator 2.
Or Terminator 2.
Or Aliens 2.
Or Alienators.
Or Contaminator.
But we shall refer to it as its title on Tubi, Shocking Dark. And believe you me, it's shocking and dark. It's also really, really bad. Salutations, I am Inspector Keto.
And I'm Detective Mio. And before we dive into our recap and breakdown of Shocking Dark, we're going to look at some interesting background information that Keto got during his investigation. I wasn't there investigating because I was busy with other important things.
Firstly, we're pretty sure that this movie is in fact Italian.
The film was released 3 years after Aliens and 2 years before Terminator 2 Judgment Day, hence the legally dubious and confusing titles.
They basically wanted more money. Bruno Mattei, or however you say the name, the director, and Claudio Fragasso, the writer, have teamed up and joined forces to make other ripoff movies like Robo War, a Predator ripoff, and Hell of the Living Dead, a Dawn of the Dead ripoff, so stealing stories is nothing new to them.
For some reason, Bruno's filmography is full of highly sexual movies, including a Nazi exploitation film. I usually don't judge too harshly, or maybe I do. That's weird!
Bruno also used multiple aliases like Axelberger and David Hunt, but his most popular one was Vincent Dawn.
And finally, it appears that Bruno and Claudio stopped working together after this film. Do with that what you will. But enough of this diddly-daddly. Time to get on with the recap and breakdown.
Venice, before the year 2000.
We start off in Venice before the year 2000. Despite some people shooting the camera some dirty looks, everything seems pretty chill.
The narrator says that this is Venice today, I assume in 1989, but what will happen tomorrow? Then we see that Venice is off limits and deserted, so I guess that answers the question.
Due to a giant toxic cloud hanging above the city and killing every living thing, Venice is now considered a dead city.
I would say that's pretty dead.
About as dead as our YouTube channel.
Now on some kind of base, somewhere. And what I assume is Mission Control receives a distress signal, and boy, is it distressing.
Oh no, I hope the creature isn't behind me. I better go check. What if it's behind me now? What if when I was turning around, it somehow got behind me? For real this time. I'm out here losing my mind.
Is anyone gonna do anything about this? Are we all just gonna pretend like this isn't happening? Oh, well, now the signal's gone. Now there's nothing we can do.
How unlucky. Meanwhile, the three men that sent the distressing signal have somehow gotten split up. They mentioned something about a Raffleson person, and we don't know who that is. But he apparently wanted to stay behind.
There's something there. What are you talking about? I tell you, there's something there.
Well, yeah, it's probably the thing you were running from, genius. And they're dead, allegedly.
Drake, what's come over you? Drake, what are you doing?
What in the world did we just witness?
Probably cinema. Oh hey, there's Raffleson. The old guy explains that there's some wacky experiments going on and yada yada. Really nothing much interesting. And just when it's getting good, the tape ends. How unlucky!
We're now introduced to three new characters. Sarah, whose name is certainly not ripped from Terminator, Commander Bond, who's a human, and Samuel Fuller, who's also a human. Allegedly.
Sam is part of Tubular Corporation, kind of like Burke from Aliens, and he wants to get Raffleson's diary for the company.
These two guys don't seem to like each other. I wonder why.
She's a scientist, but I don't want any other civilians on this mission. I need highly trained men who know what to do in an emergency, not company representatives.
11 years in the Marines were enough to teach me that whoever talks a lot doesn't get much done. And you seem to talk a lot.
Easy, Bond. Fuller here's an expert in the martial arts.
Golly gee Williber, that's some bad acting.
All right, you bunch of I'm back and I'm kicking.
Who is this woman? Why does she remind me of Michael Jackson? And who is she talking to? She looks over there, but everyone else is over there.
This is Megaforce, basically the Colonial Marines from Aliens, and we get to see some interesting interactions.
You see, she complains about one person cleaning their gun because he might shoot someone, but then she takes a gun with her finger on the trigger and points it directly at people, and also makes a threat against someone after being racist towards them.
What a character.
If I would have known wops were coming along, I would have brought my anti-grease spray.
Sit on this, Black Beauty.
Sit on this, greaseball? Let me see you. Hey!
The Megaforce and company head into the tunnels of Shelter 65. The captain gives some orders that sound very unassertive.
I'll stay in the middle with Dr. Drumble and Fuller. Price, Kowalski, take rear guard.
And they kind of sort of split off into groups.
Meanwhile,
Wow, that scene actually accomplishes nothing.
And back to the Marines. And just when Custer's getting racist again, they encounter gunfire, the type that kills.
Commander Bond shouts out some orders that could easily be heard by the enemy gunmen, and orders his men to cover him while he moves in, despite the fact that there is no cover available for them.
We have no cover here.
Just obey orders and cut the back talk, soldier.
I personally don't think that's the best idea, but hey, I'm not in charge.
It's crazy. What's he want to do, get himself killed?
Maybe not.
Now I can see you. Now I can kill you easy. I only have to take one step towards you.
Howdy, stranger.
After a bit of sneaky maneuvering, they capture the enemy, who's the same guy named Drake, who killed the dude from earlier.
Who are they? What are you talking about?
Drake then ominously says that the creatures know that they're there, that's a lot of theirs, and lets out a blood-curdling scream. Ah!
Drake's scream deafens everyone, and then he snatches one of the soldiers and boogies it, books it out of there. Also, he has claws.
The Megaforce split up again to go find the soldier that was stolen, and Coster and Kane find him in a wall. A scene that, kind of looks like it came from aliens, but maybe it didn't. Give him the benefit of a doubt. And before they can get him out, an arm bursts out of his chest, and he starts to strangle Coster.
While trying to locate their comrades, two other soldiers, Kowalski and Franzini, I believe, are ambushed. Something I noticed in this movie, by the way, is when people get ambushed or like something deadly's happening, they just kind of stand around and stare.
Christ, they're shooting all over the place. Hey, caution, what happened?
They'll meet up and some more bad acting ensues.
It was some kind of monster.
There's something moving toward us!
Yep, or standing around doing nothing.
Oh my god! There are lots of them!
The Sam Tubular guy finally leads them to Zone 14 that blessedly has a door to close. And after Sarah loses her mind because they're here, Costa turns to Commander Bond and said that this is some real nonsense, and she didn't sign up for any of it.
Bond responds by saying that this ain't no vacation, and anyone who disobeys any of his orders from now on will have their heads blown clean off.
The Marines. The Megaforce. The next one to backtalk my orders gets a bullet between the eyes.
A very persuasive and inspirational speech, I must say.
We now have the most confusing scene in the movie. First, Bond gives the command to head to the elevators, and then they contact base to say that they're headed to the lab. And then immediately the next scene, we see the team contact base again to say that they've arrived. And base picks up the phone and they have a conversation. The way that this is edited is just very confusing, especially if you're starting to zone out, which we were, not gonna lie, because this movie is rather boring.
The beeper alerts them that a life form is around, and instead of being concerned, they go closer. Probably because they know that after a riveting chase scene, they'll find a little girl who's the last survivor.
No. You may be thinking that this is just another rip from Aliens, but this girl is older, even if she doesn't always act like it, and the actress doesn't do a good job.
But in all fairness, the director is likely to blame.
Don't worry, honey. We don't want to hurt you. We're friends. We want to save you. We want to help you. Okay. Come on.
Stop it.
They finally reach Raffleson's lab.
You make anything out of this?
No,
Looks like they were trying to do some kind of research on genetic mutation.
They give the girl some sedatives. Commander Bond sends Coster and Kowalski off to their deaths. and Sam Tubular, the representative guy, figures out that the scientists were cooking up something in that lab.
Sam explains a bunch of nonsense in nonsense terms, and then Sarah summarizes nonsense nonsensically.
You mean this, whatever it is, can reprogram any form of life and transfer it into something completely different?
Exactly.
So now we know that the aliens can mutate people's bodies, even if someone only breathes in some of that toxic air. At least I think that's what's going on. It doesn't really affect the movie at all, so I guess it doesn't matter either way.
Daddy said it was all the fault of the Tubular Corporation.
Hey! Leave her alone. Can't you see she knows how to use it?
This seems rather frustrating. For starters, Sarah uses a similar line earlier before groping that girl's face.
Hey! Leave her alone. Can't you see she knows how to use it?
Secondly, the acting is mind-numbingly bad, and thirdly, we all could have figured out the Tubular Corporation was involved because Sam said earlier that Tubular spent millions on this underground viaduct that connects the base to Venice, plus the actual Tubular Corporation logo is literally on the home screen of the computer. But that's just nitpicking.
So now they know they need to get to the tubular plant, but they'll have to move quick because the movie decided to rip off aliens again, and the creatures have cut the power, leaving them all in the shocking dark.
It's them! Let's get out of here!
They scurry on out of there, and after Bond is reminded that Koster and Kowalski are missing...
Sir, what about Koster and Kowalski?
Because he actually forgot, he says that they'll meet up with them later.
In heaven. The team arrives somewhere.
There's someone in the perimeter.
All right, stay calm now. Give me Kane.
Captain, he's right, there's something here.
Come back immediately!
Why didn't he trust the first guy?
So now creatures are on the way, and the beeper's going off like crazy.
Take me out of here, scared!
Silence!
Now you think that this scene's gonna rip off Aliens, where the xenomorphs sneak in through the vents at the ceiling and everything, but nope! These creatures just manifest from absolutely nowhere and insta-kill one of the soldiers.
The soldiers start fighting the monsters, who we're just gonna call boogeymen from now on, and Bond tells Sarah to open the door.
Open the door, we gotta get out of this trap!
But she can't open the door!
It won't open! It's stuck! It won't open!
You said that already!
The soldiers keep fighting.
And she can't open the door!
The annoying kid Samantha insists that Sarah must open the door.
But she can't open the door!
Bond gets injured!
And Sarah still can't open the door!
Wrong button! Push the other one! Hurry, for Christ's sake, hurry!
It won't open! It's stuck! It won't open!
Oh my shocking dark. This woman has been lobotomized.
I guess I'm impressed by her level of commitment.
Sam Fuller from Tubular Corporations gets scratched on the arm, revealing him to either be a machine or a coffee addict because he's freaking wired.
They end up getting out of there and eventually reach Tubular Labs. At least I think this is Tubular Labs. Every room in this movie looks the same.
Now try and get some sleep.
No, I don't want to. I'm too scared.
Next one to backtalk my orders gets a bullet between the eyes. Is that clear?
And just when you think they couldn't possibly steal from aliens in a more obvious way, this happens.
Mommy always said the monsters don't exist. But it's not true.
My mommy always said there were no monsters, no real ones, but there are.
Yes, there are.
At this point, there's no need to be upset, because this movie clearly has shown that it has no problem stealing everything.
Sarah and Samantha fall asleep, but are awakened and chased by one of the boogeymen that somehow got in.
The two bang on the doors and scream for help, but Sam Tubular turns off the camera because this show is just another rerun.
Sarah pulls a fire alarm because that's what Ripley would have done. In fact, that's what Ripley did. And they get rescued. By the way, when Samantha isn't wailing for someone to do something, she's attached to Sarah's arm like a facehugger is attached to someone's face.
Assuming she's not screaming while attached. After some truly extended scenes of them walking.
Mwah. Pure cinema.
They arrive at the Tubular plant. Apparently they weren't there before. Sarah accuses Sam, saying that the Tubular Corporation is a sham company, and Sam says she has no receipts.
But conveniently, Samantha knows what button to push to show a very incriminating video that proves Tubular Corpse is bad news.
This is Tubular's plan. Kill off Venice as a city and then ransack it so they can sell all the art.
Sam is revealed to be a machine and takes down the two remaining soldiers, Zelensky and Bond, I believe, and then he turns into one of the most overly dramatic villains imaginable.
You still haven't realized that I'm immortal. I'm the most perfect thing ever constructed by the Tubular Corporation.
That's why it's called Terminator 2. He plans on blowing up the plant in 30 minutes, which, incidentally, will pollute the entire world with boogie juice, and also destroy the art, defeating the whole tubular plan.
That's not my problem.
Sam and Samantha run away, and the captain, who's still alive, is left for dead. Back at base, the guy in charge, I believe his name is Colonel Parson, is tired of waiting and sends himself and Alpha Patrol to go down into the tubes.
Later, Sarah actually manages to injure the robot man.
And they just stand there, watching.
Sarah, we gotta go. The plant's about to blow. We gotta get out of here.
No, I'll watch this, even if it kills me.
And me! Samantha is then grabbed, I think, even though nothing grabbed her. Maybe she just throws herself. She gets yeeted down the slide and goes sliding down into the deep. Shocking dark!
Lady, you saw where she went. You're not very large. You could probably follow her.
Too inconvenient. Bond, who's still alive, manages to call Colonel Parson. That doesn't change anything. And Sarah and Samantha's bad acting, combined with them always screeching, is really starting to give me a headache.
Sarah finally finds Samantha, but oh no, boogeymen come in and boogie her away. And before Sarah can do anything about it, Sam Tubular pops up again. Despite being indestructible, Sarah finds two new methods to actually, hurt him. He goes falling backwards. And his head falls off. I guess they just kept in the scene where the dummy's head fell off, but nope, in the story, his head's still on.
There's a sound effect and everything. I'm very confused. In reality, this Sam guy hasn't proven himself to be much of a threat. Yeah, back to Colonel Parson. Oop, looks like they got men to death by the boogies. What a waste of my time.
Sarah rescues Samantha and almost gets killed, but Bond materializes out of nowhere and sacrifices himself so they can escape. Now, in my humble opinion, they deserve to die, but that's just me.
Had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
Moving on, the plant is about to explode, thank God, but Sarah is once again faced with her arch nemesis, a door with a lock on it.
You have 1 minute to reach the security perimeter.
Looks like these two goobers are gonna die, but they manage to jump into a time machine and transport themselves back to pre-2000 Venice. At this point, I've ceased questioning things, and you should as well.
How is Sarah able to operate the remote?
No!
The two are in the past, but so is Robot Man, and he chases them for about 2 minutes, roughly.
No! Look what you did.
And then Sarah throws the time remote thing at him, and I think he explodes. Now Samantha is trapped with a potential of a different kind in the past, and something will happen. The end.
Now that we're done recapping the movie, it's worth noting that this video is a humorous critique of the movie, not necessarily of the people involved.
After reading an interview with Haven Tyler, the main character, it seems like most of the cast had fun working on the film, so that's nice to hear. But that does not shield Shocking Dark from criticism.
The movie as a whole is bad, but in a fun kind of way. The acting in this movie is also not good. It's actually pretty atrocious for the most part, but it's this type of bad horror movie acting that you can actually have fun with.
Also, side note, the girl in the movie was apparently 11 years old. Maybe. We actually don't know for sure, but I don't know. I don't really know what 11 years old looks like. The boogeymen don't pop up that much in this movie, so there's not really much to say about them. I guess they look like monsters.
As far as the story goes, a lot of it isn't original. In fact, it's just stolen from Aliens and Terminator. And the parts that are completely original are just as bad as the other parts.
So with all that said, would we recommend this movie?
Absolutely.
0 out of 10 would watch again. It has a lot of fun moments in there, and just watch it so you get the full experience.
Or maybe you'll hate it, who knows? But that's the end of this investigation.
If you want another investigation, check out this video about the worst King Kong ripoff ever made.
Or this investigation on the strange world of Deadpool fan films.
But until we see you there, he's Detective Mio.
And he's Inspector Keto.
And we hope that you have a blessed day.
Bye!